Hello everybody! Annie C here, back at it again with another Thomas Wood No, that's not quite right. Ladies and gentlemen, this time we're taking a look at the brand new for 2019 updated Thomas & Friends Wood Spencer. He has paint! What else can I say? Yep, this item is definitely real, although at the moment it's still a bit of an oddity. The whole reason I'm making the review is, as with my last wood review, so that everyone can get a better look at this somewhat surprising new item. A few weeks ago, Twitter and YouTube user Thomas Wooden Episodes discovered a link to this item, as well as a flint, on eBay. To the best of my knowledge, this is the first time that any of us had seen the pictures of the new line, although there had been some vague rumors beforehand. So naturally the whole thing caused a bit of a stir. I still don't know if this new line has hit the shelves yet. I purchased this guy from the eBay link. But without further ado, let's get this little guy out of the box. So as you can see, not much has changed between this and the old Wood Spencer, but there are a few key differences. The shape is still the same, but the presence of paint rather than the previous heat-applied decals is a very nice change. I think it lifts the look and feel of the entire model. Here it is next to a standard Wood Emily for comparison. Another thing to note is that unlike the previous incarnations, the 2019 Wood models now appear to have colored chassis. Good news for custom modelers. The 2019 model also feels somewhat heftier in the hand than the 2018 Emily. I guess this means they're using better quality wood now, which is another nice change. Now, instead of continuing this review in my usual fashion, for this item, I feel the need to take a bit of an unorthodox approach. In order to fully evaluate this Spencer, I want to ask an expert what they think of this item. I need to ask a mom. And so I asked the nearest one available. So, as someone who has bought Wooden Railway for her kids since 1992, what do you think of this?
Well, I like it a lot. It's small. It would be perfect for a toddler to hold on to, since it's smaller than the standard one, and it's
because it's smaller.
It's smaller
compared
than this.
to that.
Yes, it's smaller. So little kids have smaller hands, obviously, so they can hold on to something like this. And little children like to they like to hold on to things and keep them close to them. They like to carry.
It's easier
things.
for them to hold.
Easier for them to hold because little kids like. I think it must be a security thing. They like to hold on to things and carry them with them all the time. And something like this would be a little bit harder, for them, especially when you consider that's going to be a lot harder for them to hold on to. And this would. I can just I don't know how many times I've seen my little kids running around with things in their hands. Like they like to hold on to things like this, and this would just make them so delighted because it's got all the little face, it's got all the little features, the rolling tires. Oh, they would love that, and it's got.
So you think the size is better?
The size is much better. This is too clunky for a little a toddler to hold on to. He would have a lot of trouble with that. This is just perfect, and this one too, and they'd have one in both hands. I can just see a little kid running around like this, And now this one, now you see the moving parts on it. That was problematic. I remember with my kids that was problematic because that would a lot of times these would fall off. This was like the first thing that would go on a train because these. The kids are always going like this with them constantly, and eventually they just wear out. But with this, you see this, it's all stationary on there, fixed very firmly.
Yeah, one of the complaints that other fans have had is that with this line, they simplify the shape and they don't have bogies anymore. That's one of the main complaints, that people have this shape, but you saying it could be beneficial.
Well, if you're talking about a
Like with a really little kid, right?
yeah, if you're marketing it for little kids,
Like really little kids?
like 2 years old to 4 or 5 years old, then this is ideal. This would be much better for little children. I mean, look. I mean, it's just you just want to play with it. It's so nice. It's got such a nice compact shape. But while this one, I mean, is wonderful for older children who appreciate more detail, and they would like something like this a little more authentic. I'm sure an older child would appreciate this much more. And it's got the more sophisticated mechanism on it. Not that it's that sophisticated.
It's the next step up.
It's the next step up. So an older child would love this, and especially, I mean, if they've been playing with this for 2 or 3 years, and then you give them this, they're going to be like, oh wow, this is so, they're going to be really thrilled with this one at a certain point. But the littler ones are going to be, the smaller children are going to be just in love with this. I can just see that. And this is nice too, that it doesn't have the sticking up
The coal?
raised
the plastic coal?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's nice. Well, this is, I guess a little kid would like that too, since it's textural, they would like that. So that might be something they could think about putting on there. But although there may be a possibility that could come off and it would be a choking hazard or something. I don't know, maybe that's why.
It's pretty well situated on there.
Yeah, so I don't know, but this, I guess if you're going to be really conscientious about little kids, you would probably prefer to have a painted on one than a one that might come off somehow. And this, yes, and the parts here are much better too for children, because they're not little children, because they're not. This is less of a choking hazard than this would be, because this could potentially come off.
Oh yeah, we have the 1992 Boko. His
oh yes,
his
that's
chassis
just
came
about,
off.
Well, no, I can tell you a couple of them. I had to throw them away. At that point, I didn't realize they were collector items, so so I threw away some trains that were like beyond.
Oh darn!
Beyond repair, So, just telling Annie that now. No more Annie.
Oh man!
Just realizing all
Poor
these
me,
treasures
guys.
that went into. But so yes, this is problematic with little kids.
So do you think this line, the Thomas Wood and the Thomas Wood Railway, do you think they would do better together?
Oh yes. I think this would be
being sold together.
Is it Fisher Price that makes these?
I think it's right? Mattel.
Oh, Mattel. Okay, they would do very well if they had a beginner line for little ones, for children, for toddlers, and like from, I don't know, maybe 18 month old to about 4 or 5 years old. If they would have this as a beginner set, and this is for the very chunky, very simple, very basic, and then they could and make the tracks very simple. Like, I remember we had a figure 8 track that was very popular. I could throw that together in a few seconds, and the kids, and they could learn by the time they were about 2 or 3 years old, they could figure out how to do the figure 8 track. Well, no, wait a minute. I started with a circle track. That was it had 8 pieces, and we just did the little circle, and that was the beginning one. That's the one I started out all the kids out with. My kids out with was the circle track, and then the Aunt Thomas and Annie and Clarabelle. But this would have been much nicer. I think this would have been much nicer for the babies.
For the babies. Okay.
For the babies, and then so that they have the circle track, and then they graduated to the figure 8 with the bridge, and then after that.
And then like with this and this, they would eventually graduate to this.
Yes, and all the advanced
so,
layout.
What do you think of this compared to this? Because this is fully painted. That has the little gaps in there. What do you think of that compared to that?
Well, when I first saw this, I was I recognized instantly. I mean, it seemed to me that what they were trying to do was to to avoid painting these sections here, because these are the wear spots. You know, where a train that's been carried around by a little kid, you know, for a couple months or whatever. That's where the wear happens, is on all these. These are all the stress points, you know, whatever. So that's what it seemed like, that they were trying to make it look like, or I don't know what the purpose of that was. Maybe it was just to make it.
Well, they said their purpose was to show more of the wood. Everybody kind of thought that was kind of dumb, but I think in my review of this item, you're the one who suggested that they cut out the gaps like that to save it from wearing down, to save the paint from wearing down.
Yeah, I think maybe it made it look new. It would keep it from looking old. I mean, because I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I can't understand. I mean, it seems, because we have old trains in our box that, you know, where you can see the wear pattern exactly in those spots. Well, most of these spots. So I don't know if that was the object, or I really can't understand. But they're nice. I like them. I think they're really cute, and the wood portion, maybe their object was to show off the fact that they're using wood, and it's real wood, you know. It's like, oh wow, because everything's made out of plastic, and they're like, oh, we want to showcase that we're using wood, and it'll make parents think they're getting a really quality product, you know. So, and then, oh, I'm giving my children real wood toys, you know. So, but you know, it kind of reminds me, like when I was very young, I would go to my grandmother's house, and she had a box of really old toys. They must have been like antique. They were from like before the turn of the century, some of them. And they kind of looked, I don't know why, they kind of remind me of this. This is a very vintage looking thing. So maybe they looked at old
they said they were
toys or something. I don't know.
They said they were trying to go for some kind of distressed vintage look, but everybody didn't really like this, and apparently parents don't like it that much either. But I can see the benefits of that. But in your own opinion, which one do you like better?
Well, let me see.
The moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, let's see. Well, this is kind of charming. It has kind of this old turn of the century look. I don't know why. It seems like, so it's got some charm to it, but I think I would go with this one. This one looks I mean, I can just imagine a little toddler just glomming onto this, like, because it's silver, you know, it's a little metallic, and it's like, oh, shiny, and I think they would love this one more. But for myself, I mean, I kind of like this one. I mean, I don't know why, it's very, very nice. I like it, but this one, I can imagine this would be much more appealing to a child. Yes, so I would say definitely that one for the little kids. I could just see them, you know, just ignoring this one and going for that one, you know, because this one is not too subtle for them, or whatever, you know. It's just too much going on. I don't know what it is. I don't know what they did there.
Well,
so and then I don't know. So if you had all three of these like this, I mean, somebody should do a test. You know, they should line them all up and see what some little toddlers do with them. You know. So
I like that one.
But I think that this one would be the go-to. I mean, it's really just perfect for their little hands. You know, and you can just see them glomming onto those and running around the house. Oh, you know.
It's like the perfect. So you're saying that this one right here, it's the perfect go-between these two. Yes,
I think so. This is very artsy, I guess, sort of. I mean, I don't know why it looks. I'm trying to think what it reminds me of. All I can think of is my grandmother's box of toys. You know, all these. I guess I think it's this detailing with the little.
It could be Emily's design. Emily does have a very vintage, nice-looking design.
Maybe so. I don't know. Okay, but this one is really, really, really nice. For little children, like toddlers. You know?
So there you have it. So this one, in my mom's opinion, this one is good for slightly older kids. This one This one has a lot of benefits for really little kids, you know, for the size, and she thinks little kids will like this one better than this one, but she likes this one.
I do like this one. We should buy some, Annie, and we keep them for collector's items.
Well, they discontinued them, so we better hurry up and get to them.
You just never know. You heard it here first. These could be very valuable someday.
You did hear it here first, so thank you so much.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure.
And there you have it. It's certainly not Wooden Railway, but it definitely has its benefits as well as its drawbacks. I give this item a 6.5 out of 10. What do you think of this item? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this review. See you next time. Bye!